Hello everyone, and welcome to the 2015 FBA Draft. Thank you for being here today and joining us for this momentous occasion. Today, the FBA introduces 48 new contributors to the league. These new contributors have been working all their lives for this moment, and today that journey ends. Many of them will be selected to a team in the FBA, where the next phase in their story will be told. This draft is hosted by a collaboration of the FBA and Furry Sports Programming Network. Each pick will be announced by our Deputy Commissioner, Nate Marcus, and between picks there will be commentary provided by our FSPN team. With that, we welcome the Deputy Commissioner's opening speech, and we wish all the draft submissions good luck.
Welcome everyone to the 2015 FBA Draft. I am Deputy Commissioner Nate Marcus, filling in for Commissioner Stephen Calico in tonight's ceremonies. I do hope everyone enjoyed that opening sequence, courtesy of Mr. Lazimba, who organized everything together, and DJ Nightfire, who contributed his music. Make sure to give them your appreciation. Don't mind me. I've been advised to build up more tension for the prospects and the team representatives here. Besides, there are a few things that need to be taken care of before we get started. To begin, we would like to continue a tradition started 5 years ago to honor a furry tonight with the annual Contributor of the Year award. This award is given to a league participant whom the Commissioner has felt made quite the impact on the FBA, whether it be through art, or stories, or recordings, or just being a consistent presence of support for the league over the past year. While many names have been forwarded to the front office, one has stood out amongst the rest. Without further ado, I would like to announce that the recipient of the 6th Annual FBA Contributor of the Year Award for 2015 is Wendingo. Not only has Wendingo served on the committee for 2 straight seasons, he has also provided stories and pictures for the league. He fielded a lot of inquiries that were passed on from the Commissioner and frequently set aside his own projects to find resolutions to pressing issues. And he was instrumental in drafting up the FBA Charter with support from other contributors, as well as keeping track of the to-do list items and the ratings for the players, both active and on the market. Congratulations once again to Wendingo on receiving the 2015 FBA Contributor of the Year Award. Now I would like to take some time to explain the procedures for tonight's events. For the first round of picks, the general managers will have 10 minutes from the time the Deputy Commissioner, that's me, announces their slot to confirm the draft prospect they would like to select. Should no confirmation be received by the end of that time period, there will be a 5-minute grace period extended to that team. I will announce the pick shortly after the general manager either confirms their selection or the grace period expires and the next player on their list is named. The process then continues with the next slot. After the 24th pick, there will be a short 5 or 10 minute intermission where the welcoming video will be replayed and sports analysts will quickly review the picks so far and perhaps share some news from other sports leagues. Once the second round begins, general managers will only have 5 minutes from the time of the announcement for their slot and no grace period. If there is no player confirmed by the general manager, either live or via a list of selected names, the pick is forfeit, and the general manager will be marked with a 3-2-3 warning. The Deputy Commissioner, that's me again, will announce the results of that pick, and the process will continue until the draft is completed. Finally, there have been approvals on a couple of last-minute trades that need to be announced as well. First up, the Tennessee Moonshiners agreed to spending $1 million in current cap space to the New York Pride in exchange for Dennis Zabu. Good luck to Mr. Zabu in Nashville. The second trade also involves the Tennessee Moonshiners, as they have agreed to send the number 1 overall pick in this year's draft to the Albany Alphas in exchange for $2 million in current cap space, as well as the number 2 overall pick. That being said, the Albany Alphas are now the ones on the clock. I will return after the Alphas have submitted their selection. Thank you.
We're alive! Are we doing?
Oh.
Can you hear me, FBA Nation? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we hear you fine. We hear you definitely fine.
Oh, wow. Oh, wait, did that just happen?
Yeah, that certainly was a surprise. I don't think anybody really expected that, to be honest.
I'm reading the Albany Twitter and the hollers, they say something, and then they say something about a greater than 50% chance, and I feel conned. I feel really conned.
Yeah, that definitely, like, put us in quite a bit of a predicament right here. So, with what we know now, with the fact that both Albany and Tennessee have swapped spots.
Well, we got to do an introduction. We should introduce ourselves
for everyone out there.
Yeah, so for those who don't know, I am the Nittany Lion, Jack Kanter, FSPN's lead analyst. I am the Cougar on the court, a nickname I stole from someone that doesn't matter. And joining me today are two FBS writers that do matter. We have Ronan Shields here, a red-tailed hawk who's been around for a while. Ronan.
Hello.
We're going to have a theme song for you later. We have Marcus, don't call me Bobby Baylor.
Really?
Is your name Bobby?
That was a little low,
No,
Jack.
it's not Bobby. But really?
We have our producer in the background that doesn't want us to name him. Exactly, he's not going to talk. And I think we have a whale, Chris Whalen, somewhere?
Not a whale, I'm a red panda.
Same thing. Whales, red pandas. All right. Now it's important because we don't have enough time because this Raquel Witt, the asshole GM, just ruined it for all of us. What the heck?
To be honest, it's pretty crazy when it comes to the first pick. Well, how Albany got to the first pick, because they made a lot of moves this offseason just to get to this spot. And this is like a really major step up. And he lost quite a bit in doing this. So do you think that this was a good idea on their part, or no?
They're the defending Eastern champions. What do they need? They have, they're stacked at guard. They're stacked at forward. They have the best forward player in the game with a certain Husky. Maybe they're getting center, but, are they getting Nick Ram at center at 1? They could have maybe they get him at 2. What are they doing?
Well, now they can get whatever they want, so, we'll just have to find out.
Yeah, we're going to have to.
Pretty much.
All right, do we have a pick in yet, or is it still going?
It's still going right now, I think.
All right, so review how they got here. So they traded to who was it? They traded the Voodoo at number 2. They traded their 10th overall, which they got from Hawaii 2 years ago, because they were obviously slated to have the 30 whatever, one of the lower ones, 24 ones. They got that. It's $2 million, which they made off that trade with Lance Wildfire to the Whips, I think, a while ago. So that's $2 million they got from there. So that's $2 million. That's their first round. The second round, I think, also came from the Whips. So they traded all this extra stuff that they got from other teams to get this, and now they've paid $2 million to go up to the top.
Yeah, it seems so. So with all this work that they put in to get to this point, who do you think is that number 1 guy out of all the candidates right now?
It's got to be McRam.
McRam?
I honestly don't know. I mean, my picks are kind of out the door now. With this trade, my picks are kind of out the door.
Yeah, for me, when it has thrown out the door for what I originally thought was going to be the first pick, but for me, I'm probably gonna go Haley for the number 1 pick.
That would make sense. He's a New York boy, right? What about the other New York girl, though? Or the other New York boy, Sterling?
I think when it comes down to it, I don't think it'd be a smart move to go for him as number 1 because of his certain outgoing personality. It's a little crazy for them to go take that push for someone with that kind of thing holding him back, with his attitude and his cockiness.
Cockiness is putting it mildly at times.
Hey, I mean, we're trying to keep it clean.
I
here.
know.
I mean, I'm gonna go on the limb. I think if it's not McRam, then it's got to be D Kim, because Albany does not have that ball handling ball general. He tore it up at the combine, and he has one of the best passing ability I've ever seen. He could thread a ball through a needle, literally a needle.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you that on Derek Kim when it comes down to it. But again, you did say, as you said before, they're pretty stacked at guard already. Well, somewhat, at least.
Do you think right now Renee or Appy, are they sweating?
Yeah, a little bit. And not to mention the fact that I'm not really sure if Renee is going to stay in.
I think we just got word that that's in.
All right.
Oh, it's in? Okay.
We're going.
With the first pick of the 2015 FBA Draft, the Albany Alphas select Kevin Haley, a Cougar guard from Harlem, New York.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
This makes sense.
No, it doesn't. It makes no sense. This is a bonehead GM mood.
Really?
This is terrible. Why would you do this? Go on. You go first. I will be the voice of reason, as I always am.
See, the reason for me of why I feel like that this makes sense is, once again, before we got the pick in, we're not 100% sure if Renee is going to stay in Albany. And for him, he has been a good piece for him to stick around and all that. So with that chance of him slipping, they could be getting a little weaker. Not only that, Nutton is also not going to be there. I mean, of course, he is an older guy, and it makes sense for them to go their separate ways with Nutton. So for me personally, I feel like Haley is the best fit to fill out that missing spot in the starting position, and hopefully it'll get them to that final push to go back to go get that crown for the FBA.
How many swears do I get in this cast? How many does the FCC allow me to have? 2? Nightfire, cue up the beeping meter for me, like you did in the podcast.
Lord.
All right, I get it. Renee was like second round, maybe. Appia was late first, early second, and he's been a monster. But if you're gonna get a guard, you want a pass first guard, someone that can feed Umechi. You don't want like a high rate real dunker. Yeah, he's best player in the draft, but like now you have a guard controversy. You can't play 4 guards or 3 guards. Is Newton coming back now? That's a great one. Or do they give up on him? Like what are they doing? This makes no sense. And if you're gonna treat him as a project, Roger Umechi's time is right now. He's not gonna want and wait for some kid to become a superstar in 3-4 years. He wants to win right now. This makes no sense. I get it.
Well,
It's dumb.
I think it's interesting because Albany is so full of guards anyways that the last thing they need right now is another guard.
Yeah.
I mean, for all we know, they may. I hate to say this, but they may end up possibly trading him. Possibly. I mean, it'd free up some cap space for them.
I don't know. Like for me personally, I just feel like with Kevin Haley coming in, I do have a feeling that both Nutton and Lacoste are possibly not returning to the Alphas. That's just me. Of course, that's just me.
Appia's got one more year. Lacoste is a free agent. A lot of people probably even hearing me now. Some of the GMs probably are looking at him. They're waiting to see what some of the other moves are. He's a second-tier guard, though, behind Ryan. Xavier Newton, he's older, but he's really good. Is our pick in?
Not as of yet. Looks it.
No? Okay. So we can keep hammering on here for a little bit. Like, I don't know at this point. I am so surprised. I mean, this changes a lot of things. I'm sure a lot of GMs are now scrambling because this has a domino effect.
Yeah, playbook's out the door.
Yeah.
Everything is like all over the place.
Because a lot of people were expecting Albany to take a center or maybe a guard.
So
now, what happens?
I have to ask,
All right.
why did Albany feel the need to trade for their the number 2 pick, number 1 pick, just for this move. I mean, it was
Maybe
obvious no one was going to, scoop him up in the first place.
maybe it's because of the fear that Tennessee could actually jump at Haley. As we get in, of course, that would be a complete shock to me because they don't really need a guard; they need a forward. Which I think that's the next thing we're gonna have to talk about, who is on the clock, Tennessee. Who do you see going to Tennessee and why?
Oh man.
So that's a hard one.
That's what I had. I'm like, my target. They're getting the king. Like, literally, both face things. They are like, you heard me scream, Biloxi, you're on the clock because Tennessee is taking Calvin. What the heck? They need everything. Tennessee needs everything.
Yeah, it's a good thing, but I think right now the number one need, personally for me, they're gonna need a forward. They need forward because looking at their roster right now, they don't really have guys who are like for sure starters at forward.
So they're taking Davenport. They're taking Davenport. Is that what you're
That's
saying?
where I'm gonna go. I'm going Davenport for number 2.
I'm going with the Gundio.
Gundio?
I'm going.
That's
with
a
him.
pretty. That's pretty good.
I have to represent my home state, so I'm sorry. I have followed this kid through his 4 years of college. He is as good as he showed in the. I mean, he's not as good as Derek Kim, mind you, but in that combine game, he did show he was a quality player.
Yeah, he definitely represented when it comes down to the combine games. And for me personally, I said that Davenport is probably the best bet because he's the best all around.
I think they're announcing the picks in.
So. All right.
With the second pick of the 2015 FBA Draft, the Tennessee Moonshiners select Trice Peter Malik, a Galata baboon forward out of Great Lakes Mammalia. Congratulations, Trice. Lorraine Firestorm is now on the clock.
Where's my papers? I need to throw them up in the air dramatically.
Okay, I did not see that coming, but hey, they did pick a forward.
They did. For me, I didn't really expect them to go for Trice. I thought that, to be honest, they would have gone for the collie. Even though he does have a little bit of baggage for the collie about his attitude, well, a majority of them.
Let's face it, this is the class of attitude this year.
Yeah, true. But, for me, when it comes comparing to Trice and Micah, I feel like Micah has it a little bit more bad when it comes to having that kind of anger or get ticked off really easily when it comes down to it. So you don't want, that kind of attitude to really collide that much in your team. And
it's crazy. I don't even like Trice is probably incredible speed, incredible body, very good stealer for a power forward, surprising ball handler. Probably should transition to small forward, but he's got the height and the strength of a power. But I think they're reaching a little bit. Like, they need everything pretty much, and you build teams around a point guard. And you could take D. Kim, build a team around him right now. You could take it and build a team around a certain Borkolvi and Davenport. Francis, build a team around him. Building a team around a small forward, power forward, that's a little risky.
May work out. You never know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
like I said, like for me, Trice is not a really bad idea. Isn't really like a bad pick, but I did feel like Micah would have been the better choice here. But again, it might have been like the conflict with attitude for me, at least, when it comes down to whether.
Maybe they were just looking for a pure forward. I mean, Micah's got skills everywhere, but sometimes you don't want a generalist. You want someone who can work a very specific position and depend on them to be there no matter what's going on.
I mean, if he plays power forward and they keep Eli Shuck, does that mean DeWitt Asgard? I'm not going to pronounce that last name. Is he? Where's he going? Is he staying there? Are they playing him at small? And are they going to play 1-2-3 there? Did Barton come in and say, I want this player, and otherwise go? I mean, this is a weird move. I mean, I agree with it. I think he's a great player, but I would have taken the guard.
I mean, hey, when it all comes down to it, this like any of these players that are in the top, it's a good start when it comes to Tennessee.
Yeah, this is true.
Like when it comes to Tennessee, like this is kind of
after the year Tennessee's had, any player is
any player
a good start, especially now
because
off.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm going there with that one.
You did. You totally did. I mean, I don't know. I think you maybe take DKIM. He's still probably the best player on the board right now. He had that monster of a combine game, which is incredible. Francis is a beast. If you want size, maybe get Mika, McCall, Davenport. But Trice has a lot of intangibles, and he's got that size and strength. Maybe that's what they wanted. Right now, anyone that's missing on Morgan McCarthy, if you need a center, but they don't need really a center. Honestly, this will be very interesting. I'd be very interested to see if they re-sign DeWitt, because this signals to me they want to go in a different direction, but they need everything right now. If the Moonshiners want to come back, they're waiting on him. And there's a rumor going around that the Moonshiners are looking to get a certain squirrel.
Ooh.
Yeah. They're having rumors. All right. I think that's enough to talk about Tennessee. We should talk about Lorraine. And there.
Yeah, I mean, they're still on the clock at the moment, but
Yep. I think when it comes down to Lorraine, from all the moves that we do know of, they are totally flipping the table, rearranging everything in Lorraine. They have like a brand new identity in this franchise. So when it comes down to really truly starting over, who do you think is like the best option for Lorraine right now?
Well, right now the Firestorm, who do they have? They have Leonardo De Hugo, and they have a certain Aisa Card, I believe, at power forward. I believe Edwin retired.
Actually, I think we just got word in that they've made their pick.
They're quick.
Okay.
With the third pick of the 2015 draft, the Lorraine Firestorm select Fagundio Salvatore Adimorales, a Cuban Blackhawk common kestrel hybrid, forward, out of Boston Interspecies College. The San Jose Thrust is now on the clock.
Wow.
I like this pick.
I don't.
I'm
I
happy
don't.
about this pick.
I don't. This is a reach pick. This is a big reach pick.
How come?
Well, if you're going to go for a power forward, and this is now this I think is the second power forward play in a row. So if you're going to go for a power forward, there are I think two better power forwards in this. You have McRam who can play it, but who's more of a classic center, and you have Onyang who is the rhinoceros who takes up a lot of space. He's more of a center. I like the pick. I wish they traded down. I mean, they really I think reached for it. Very good bird, incredible player. In terms of just raw value, I don't like it.
Yeah, but when it comes down to having that pure power forward, he's kind of the only one there.
No. What about Aisha Melbourne? What about Amisha Melbourne?
Well,
This is now the second time in a row that the Firestorm have drafted a power forward to replace Aisha Melbourne. Edwin had to retire due to his tinnitus, I believe. This, like they have no confidence in her.
well, you never know because Aisha Melba, I believe that she can also play the center, correct?
She can play center. A good
Yeah,
center.
so she can play center, so she can be moved over to there. That could be an idea, as well. So maybe it's because to actually help her get some pressure off of her, it might be a good idea to have Agunia to step up and play well. And plus he's also a good offensive powerhouse. He could help try and give some of the load off of Leonardo because he's been the main guy scoring for.
Guys,
for
I'll be honest with one thing. This was the first pick this year that was actually on my list for the team.
You got one right? You never did anything right.
Oh.
Ouch! Shot.
Ooh.
Yeah, like
Man.
the only pick that I had correct was Calvin Haley because I had him as my number one.
Well, you got it right. Wrong
So
team.
that's well, yeah, wrong team, of course, but hey, it happens. It happens.
I don't know, man. I'm not a big fan of this one. I don't know about this one. Who's up next?
We have San Jose.
Yeah, I believe the Thrusts are still picking. So
Who do you
who knows? I mean, there's
I think when it comes down to it, they may be looking for someone to take, will be not the replacement of Shane Rufus, not or fill in the spot.
yeah. Let's face it, you
can.
can't exactly replace Fang.
Yeah.
Sure you can.
Well,
I know a couple hobos down the street you can replace them with.
and
that's cool.
You guys know where to find my Twitter. You can email me hate later.
So when it comes down to that kind of need, who do you think would be a perfect fit here?
Ooh, that's a tricky one. Because I mean, yeah, Fang leaves a big hole. Because let's face it, he was pretty much the face for them right there.
Yeah, for a couple of years, yes.
Yeah.
I think when it comes down to it, I believe the fourth pick could be Misha Maxwell because even though that she might not have that same kind of caliber that Shane Rufus brought, but she can. I think that she can do pretty well enough because
I can speak for a fact. Misha can bring it.
I would agree with you there. I think her play style meshes really well with the way that San Jose is structured. I think she would be a great asset for the team.
I don't know. I mean, the Whips need a little bit of everything. Right now, their strengths are Sam Walls and the GOAT of all time that's getting a little bit old.
It's getting old, but it's just always true.
I think they need a forward guard hybrid. They might take a shot on Misha Maxwell at this point. That's my guess. Some people say that might be reaching it. I don't think so. I think she's a steal at any point in the game. Maybe I'm wrong, and they go with Derek Kim, which is probably the best player on the board right now. Davenport would be really strong for them too, but they need a little bit of everything. Just looking at them right now, Shane going. I think they still have Margaret out there. They have Blight Notch, very good long ball player. Rachel Barksky, ball handler. They still have Red Dawn. So they're pretty good at guard. So it'd surprise me if they took another small ball player. They have Benjamin Darby at center, though, which means he is an underrated player. He is probably one of the hidden gems. Renee Floria, though, she's still up in the free agency, right? Am I wrong?
Well, there's a lot of players that are technically still up in the free agency.
Yeah.
Fluffy baller. Yep, she's a free agent. I don't know if anyone has picked up on her yet. That's a big thing. Maybe they go forward and don't go and try to get her. They have all the pieces to be a very, very good team.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
It's just they need a lot of little things as well.
Yeah, it's definitely a combination of needing both the big and the little.
I think, in all honesty, I'm just looking at the roster right now. They don't have that game breaker. They don't have that all-star that you can build a team. They don't have that Roger Rameshi. They don't have that Travis Buckner. They don't have that Jake Turner. They don't have that game breaker that can just change the game because he feels like it. Ren Dodd, great player. Renee Floria, superb scorer. Lucien Darcy, I'll even give a shout out to him because he can bench press a truck at this point, and I'm not going to get him on my wrong side. They don't have that great player. Kwaku's too old. Barcy would chase
we got it
now.
in. There it.
You got it? Now shut up.
All right.
With the fourth pick of the 2015 FBA Draft, the San Jose Thrust select Jonathan Lawyer, a Meerkat forward out of Farrington University. Congratulations, Jonathan. The Newark Pride is now on the clock.
I give up.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
And picks out the door again.
Well
So-
then.
I love the law firm. I love the law firm. The court is in order. I love the law firm, but that's a little bit of a reach in my opinion. But we're wrong every year. It seems like.
Yeah,
There's always something that's wrong.
Yeah, this was somewhat of a surprise. If they were gonna go for Jonathan Lawyer, I mean, like, yes, he is a downright dirty shooter, as has been quoted before. He can shoot the ball. He can do anything you have for offensively. But do you think he'll be able to, defend some of the guys who are pretty much downright dirty when it comes to driving hard against him? Pretty well, because that's kind of my worry here with Jonathan Lawyer.
Yeah,
That's
that's
my
one
little
of
knock.
the worries.
Because I feel like that this is pretty much the player that you would want to put for your 2 spot. That could be a good start for the starting 2, but at the same time, he needs to develop his defensive skills.
He's an incredible jump shot, very good mid range, pretty good shot creator. He just makes those shots. Very good long shot, very elusive, average perimeter defense, average passer. Little bad under pressure. He's not physical. Very Russ Savoy-like. He's very. I wouldn't have. I'll be honest. I would not have taken him over Kim. I would not. 100% wouldn't take him over Davenport. 100% wouldn't take him over a lot of these bigger names. We figured this would be an easy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there's a lot of reaches. I can kind of see maybe Agundo going early because there's not a lot of power forwards, and you want to wrap that up around your hands. I get that. Because this is there's maybe one true power forward in the top 24. I get that. That's a value play that's considerate. But Lawyer, I would have taken at least Matt Davenport above him. Much better small forward.
Yeah.
But they see something we don't like. But again, is Lawyer going to be that player that can command, that can control the game? At this point, if I'm a team that needs a ball hawking a guard, I'm making every call possible to get Derek Kim. Seattle, Vicky Turner, hello.
Well, I think that it's interesting because the combine really shook a lot of things up. Everyone kind of saw the preview that FSPN put out for the players, and after the combine, I think everyone was kind of questioning, who they really wanted to add to their teams. We had a lot of surprises during the combine. A lot of people performed much differently than predicted. So. Yep.
Yeah, Kim especially for one.
And when it comes to the combine games, when we saw Lawyer and Davenport actually, going down 1-on-1, there are some times that Lawyer did, took care of business against Micah. Until it comes down to it. So maybe that probably helped out with the pick. Again,
all right, we got to move on a little bit. Where's now the? Can I get this right? The Queen's Pride. What are they picking up? Please don't make me say that
again. No announcement yet, but
no.
But yeah, so the work's moving.
Well, we can talk about that a little bit later. Let's get this done. What do they need? Center, power forward. Wallstein is a free agent, and the rumor is they don't want to pay Wallstein and the 500 mults that come with her. They have incredible guards at BZ. Who do they pick if they need a big fur and have that strong guard?
Right now, I feel like they're probably going to have to go small forward, and I think right now the perfect sense is to snag Davenport right here, because right now he's pretty much the best forward, out of the class that hasn't been taken yet. So, for me personally, I would have to say that Micah Davenport could be a good option. Who knows?
Well,
maybe
I would also let's not forget, Morgan's still in this too, and he's a big fur, and they need kind of both a little bit of center and a little bit of forward.
That is true.
Looking around that division right there, what they have with the Newark, they have to deal with, yes, I know she's out of position, but Nina at the forward. They have to deal with the Roger Mechi at the forward. The Tides have Well, they need a forward too, but Newark, they probably need to buff up that forward position right now. Mm-hmm. No offense at all to Adam or Therese Price. Adam might be able to do it. He can do it, but they need another guy in there that can really power that around. Maybe. I don't know. Do you think they re-sign Wallstein? Is a big question.
Well, from the moves that they've made so far, from all the trades that they've had, they've gotten quite a bit of centers come in right now. With the fact that, sorry for butchering the name, you guys know I'm amazing at the names. Stefan Kakovic, did I say that right?
Steffi, the porcupine, right?
Yeah, the porcupine. And then
It hurts to say his name. He pricks.
Yeah. And then we have Cho Sung Hwa. I hope I said that right.
Say that again, please. I couldn't hear that.
Cho Sung Hwa. I'm gonna say
that. That's probably about as best as I could do it.
Yeah. All right. But with those two guys coming in, I don't think Miriam's services is needed that much. Of course, she is younger, but at the same time, with those two coming in, and if they actually decide to go,
yeah, they're announcing they got the pick now.
Oh, okay. All right.
All right.
Congratulations to Mika Davenport, who was the 5th pick of the 2015 FBA Draft. Mika is a Border Collie forward guard out of Connecticut Gannon University. Congratulations. Montana Howlers are now on the clock.
Someone listen to me!
All right, sit down.
Okay, calm down, big guy. Calm down.
Okay, so Adam, you're going to be super happy right now because you have someone that you can now bounce off of, someone you can actually play with in that forward position. You should be dancing because that's a scary lineup. You have VZ, you might have Ronnie Fulton at the shooting. You have Adam, you have Mika, you have someone at center, maybe Wallstein. That's a scary scoring team.
Oh yeah, definitely. I feel like that when it comes to Newark Pride, they definitely have something going here. They may actually, actually finally get into the playoffs and actually make some noise right now. I can see that. This was a good pick when it comes to Newark. And not to mention the fact that he is a hometown boy as well.
Yeah.
Coming from Newark.
Well, Connecticut to New York, right?
Yeah.
Rumored, allegedly, excuse me. I'm being told by my producer that if I refer to the rumor as fact again, they're going to scream in my ear again.
Like every other time.
I like this player. This is a player you can build a team around. But the thing is, will VZ let this Collie shine is the big question. There's a lot of talent there. There's a lot of shooters. Adam's going to love this player. Adam's a little bit light to be a power forward at only 245, and I don't know. He played most of his time at the small forward position. He's going to be interesting to move to power if they're going to play them both there. Maybe they decide to play the Collie more at D, and they've given at the guard position, and they've given up on Ronnie. I don't know. Ronnie had a good year in stealing, but he didn't do much else.
Mm.
Oh, I mean, I love this Collie. This is a really strong player. It's a really good pick as a whole. I mean, you have a little bit of everything. He's a great slasher, great shot creator, one of the highest. I think it was the Wonderlick test. He took one of the highest results out of there. A little undersized to be a forward if he's going to play the small, but that could be, adjusted. Average just under 18 points a game. 40% behind the arc, really good. A lot of scouts did say positioning the shooting guard due to his speed and potential playmaking. I don't know how it's going to work with Ronnie. Maybe that means they've given up with Ronnie. Size at like 6'5", a little bit small, but he plays bigger than he looks. very Evan Marshall-like. But if they're going to put him at the shooting guard position, that means Ronnie's out. I like Ronnie. He's someone that went 10th overall, I think, last year, 9th overall, something early like that. And that will be very interesting to see what happens in that situation because they have a guard controversy. Albany has a guard controversy. Maybe they do, guys do.
Who knows?
So who's the best player? Right. Well, we gotta do the other. Well, who's next on our list right now? If that's Newark, then we have Montreal or Montana. Excuse me, Montana.
It's the Howlers. We need. I hate to say this. We need more Canadian teams in this league. I mean, let's face it.
Nova Scotia. I'm hearing some fans there. Probably not many if it's Nova Scotia.
You might be surprised.
All 10 of them in Nova Scotia. I don't want it to be Nova Scotia because I don't want to fly to Nova Scotia. I don't even know how to fly to Nova Scotia. But the Howlers. The Howlers. What do you guys think?
Ooh.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting one, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to remember. I think...
How is this interesting? You have DCAM or you have Francis. You have one of or the other right now.
I believe I had Francois, I believe.
I had Francois.
Yeah, I had Francois as well.
I mean, we're in the post-Shane
Rufus
Rufus era.
Kim, of course.
Yeah, which means they're going to pick him, of course, yeah.
Of course. We're in the post-Rufus era. They're going to try to get lemon cakes or lemon concali. Excuse me. I got that wrong. But Bobby Ray, good player. Bailey, he's not a starter. I'm sorry. I love Westcott Yobia as a sort of defensive power forward, but when you look at that division with the Las Vegas, with Edmonton, with Seattle, there's a lot of pressure to be good big. Like, there is a lot of pressure to be good big. Like, Barnaby Jazz isn't going to be with Las Vegas anymore. But Edmonton wants that Lion real bad. Seattle has Dino Kovanek. There's a lot of pressure to get big. And Noah, I'm not even going to pronounce that name. I don't know if he can hang around with them.
Yeah. Well,
maybe this is Mick Graham's position.
Who knows?
Maybe, but I think when it comes down to Montana, I think we should all agree that shooting guard may be the best bet for me. But we know that since both Misha Maxwell and Francois Martineau, out of those two, who would you pick?
Oh, now you're asking me to do the hard thing.
I'm going to go with Francis because I said Francis at the very beginning, and I want to be right.
I don't know.
I'm having a hard time because
have Francois. Yeah,
it's a hard one. No doubt.
It is difficult. I had Francois up there, but not with Misha still on that board. Do you feel like that?
Yeah, I mean,
do you feel like that Misha they will go for Misha instead of Francois? It's kind of it is very like. I guess it'll depend on what kind of player they would want.
Do you think that the Howlers are right now scared of the size that's in that division right now? That's the big question. Because if Edmonton gets back that Lion, either way, the Lion is Siggy Ronan is either going to go to Edmonton or Las Vegas. Can we agree on that?
Yeah. We can agree with that.
We can agree that Barnaby Jazz is probably not going to stay with Las Vegas, but they do have Quinessa Hartwind, who is a pretty good player, very, very big, 7'7" cat. There's a lot of size there, and I just don't see the Orca holding their own. Maybe I'm wrong.
Maybe, because you are right in the fact that he is.
Picks in.
Oh, okay.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, they've been told the picks in.
With the sixth pick of the 2015 FBA Draft, the Montana Howlers select Sterling Benzing, a marbled polecat center forward from Jersey City, New Jersey. Congratulations, Sterling. Texas Lone Stars now on the clock.
Wow.
Where are my papers? I need to burn them.
Wow.
I'll say this. Yep, I was not expecting that one either.
God
wow.
damn it, Sterling!
Wow. I have no idea what to say to this. I think this is obvious that they're going more for the future when it comes to this pick. I am not going to disagree with this pick, but number 6.
I am.
That's a bit of a stretch. That's a pretty big stretch.
So
just
for
a
me,
slight.
We were right on one thing. They went for the big fur. They went for the center. We were right on that.
We were agreed on that.
So unless they actually plan on moving Westcott Yobia out of that power forward position, maybe because Sterling is what, 6'9"
Yeah, he's 6'9"
with high heels on, something like that.
Something like that.
I don't know. I mean, if you put him at center, that means you're going to have him cover Daniel Kovanovic, who has at least 14 inches on him. You're going to have him cover, as I just mentioned, Quezas Harkless, who does have it. He's 7'7" cat, big girl. You're going to have him cover Sigi Romanovin, who's, assuming either way, if he goes to Edmonton or Las Vegas, that's a big body right there. And that's assuming you don't put him at power forward, because if you put him at power forward, he has to cover Seabass, he has to cover Lenny Hicks in Edmonton, or he has to try to cover Jake Turner in Seattle. They have an incredible amount of confidence for him.
Oh,
And the question
definitely.
is because they can also deal with his. How do I put it
Go
lightly?
His personality,
Thank you.
the fact that he's a. Did you guys just mute me?
Well then. Oh jeez. But yeah, when it comes down to it, I feel like with this move, I don't know, like, of course, I feel like it does kind of sort of make sense, because even though Yobia, he is good, but he is getting up there. Also, the Orca is getting up there. So they do need to get younger. And for me, I feel like
This is true.
So I feel like with Sterling Bang Zing, I hope I said that right. Sorry if I did say that right.
I've
Whatever.
never made
Sterling?
the attempt to try to pronounce his name.
But when it comes down
Sterling?
to it, I feel like this is just to make that those group of guys younger. When it comes down to it,
I think you're right.
Will he get the starting position?
To take this franchise and look to the future more than maybe not even considering what's going on for this season, but maybe the 2016 season or 2017 really mold Sterling into a professional baller.
Yeah, when it comes, and also
Okay,
the fact that
I'm sick of talking about Sterling right now. Can we go on?
Let's talk about Texas.
all right, we'll go on.
Yes, Texas time.
Okay, so Texas has always blown up my pick.
Yep.
I guess I'll get started here then, because we have a little bit of a delay apparently between me talking.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Testing 1, 2, 3. We're having a little bit of technical difficulties. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear this fine.
All right, a little bit of technical difficulties, a little bit of laggy, especially you right now, as far as I'm hearing. Texas is an interesting one, and hopefully you guys can still hear me. Texas is a very interesting one where they've made some big plays in the past. They've got the double fish combo, Wesley and Artie. They have Marcus Knight wrapped up long term, but they do have some concerns. Travis, is he going to stay? And Buck Hopper, is he going to be able to stay around because that knee swelled up to the size of a bowling ball in the offseason?
Yep.
Yeah,
And
I as much as I hate to say this about B-Hop, he should start to think about laying off, retiring maybe if it has to be, because let's face it, he's not going to get younger.
For me, I feel like with this pick
yeah,
here, with this pick here,
Gotcha.
I feel like B-Hop is getting old. He's getting up there. There's no denying it. This might be
He's
his
not a
last
spring
year.
hair anymore.
Yeah,
That's an
the
understatement.
the young hype bunny is out the door. He's done. Like, that's gone. He's on the part. He's at the part where it may be time for him to step down. Of course, we all know it might not be this year, but at the same time, you're gonna have to start thinking about the future of the franchise when it comes to shooting guard position. That's why I'm gonna take my safe bet, and I think Maxwell could be a good choice here
There's a possibility.
for me.
Interesting.
All
All right, we're gonna go first real quick. We
gotta
gotta fix up these issues we're having right now.
Okie doke.
All right, so bear with us. We're not going anywhere. Just bear with us. In 3, 2, 1. Testing 1, 2, 3.
Test. Are we good?
It's 1. That's 2. The other guys, our producer is muted. Our Panda intern is muted.
I think we're back up here down on
Back. Only one we're waiting on is Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns.
Roman, whatever his name is. Ronan Shields of the Shield.
Ronan, where are you getting this?
I don't know.
You're just like making up things as you go, aren't you?
Have you met me?
Well, I'm getting to know you more.
Oh, wait till we get to the Alaska pick.
Oh God, help me.
Yes, exactly. So no echo. Crowd, help me out. No echo, no nothing. Texas, you're so lucky you're getting extra time right now. Okay. We're good. We are missing our Roman shield. But we're good. I'm happy with that. So where are we? We're still waiting on Texas. Hopefully they'll be around soon. And
Okay.
oh, they picked. I'm being told that they picked, right?
All right, let's go down.
All right.
Are we? Is that true?
Wait, is it?
Yeah.
No, they're giving us an extra minute to make sure we have everybody
Yeah.
here.
Okay,
So,
All right,
so
all right.
it's here now.
so testing on it.
Yeah, now they're telling us they picked.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Go to. All right. Here we go.
With the 7th pick of the 2015 FBA Draft, the Texas Lone Stars select Francois Martineau, Golden Retriever guard from Lévis, Quebec, Canada. Congratulations to you, Francois. The Santa Fe Whips are now on the clock.
Good dog. Who's a good dog?
Yeah.
God.
So when it comes down to it, I feel like this is a very solid pick.
Mm-hmm.
Really,
Oh,
definitely
no argument.
solid pick right here. I mean, when it comes down to it, it was going to be either Misha or Francois anyway. And
Yeah.
I can understand for Francois because of the stronger mindset when it comes to making the smart plays and also the sharpshooting. he definitely has that sharpshooting down packed as well.
That is true. I mean, Misha does have a tendency to be a little over aggressive when she tries to make steals. She's more about trying to get that ball back quickly than anything else.
It's a great pick, and it's a great pick in a history of Texas terrible picks. Francis is a great player, smart player, brilliant 3-point specialist, high shooting percentage, dead eye. Just he hits shots, iffy endurance, iffy foul, kind of a Jake Viox type without the stupidity. Great player. He's going to go do wonderful in Texas. But this also means that we're now in the Buck Hopper retirement party, which is going to be very interesting to see if Buck and his ego will let that happen.
Yeah, it's like from this going forward, I feel like with this pick, it's clear as day that they are getting ready to prepare for the
post Hopper
era. I mean, because we already know that he is getting up there. He is not as good as he was back when he started off,
especially with that knee of his.
Yeah, especially with that knee. But so when it comes down to it, it really is just a future type of pick. And right now, are they going to give Francois the starting team, or are they just going to let him, develop under Hopper and see where they go from there? That is the major question.
Hold on. Bigger question. Do you think Buck Hopper? This is Buck Hopper again. This is the showboat kick jumping. I'm gonna do a dance after I score and piss off a giant panther. I can say piss off, right? Okay, cool. Piss off a very large panther kind of player. Do you think that he's gonna come in and smile at some upstart? There were some tensions with Travis. There was a lot of tensions at Dakota with someone his age coming in and taking his captain spot, taking his leadership spot. I don't know how Buck is going to be, how is Buck going to do this? How is he going to, maybe everyone gets lucky and his knee swells up to the size of a beach ball and this is a non-issue and we get rid of the most overrated player in the FBA. Did I say that? Okay, but I'm going to go check my Twitter, see how many messages I just got.
Probably at this point over 100.
I would say over 1,000, to be honest. But of course, we're all gonna have to worry about how Buck Hopper will feel about this whole situation, about how he's gonna cope with the fact that this may be his replacement after he's gone.
Maybe it's his replacement.
Maybe it is. We don't know. We're gonna have to find out. But for Buck Hopper, I think this late in his career, it might be best to hold down that cockiness and pull back a little bit, and actually be a team player and be
basically
willing.
Swallow the bitter pill.
Yes,
pretty much.
Take the chill pill, and try your best to get as much as Francois out of you as you can. So, with that in mind, the guy on the team on the clock now is Santa Fe.
Oh yeah.
Who do you guys see them going for and why?
I'm gonna let Jack go first.
Yeah, of course I go first, obviously. So originally I said Santa Fe would be perfect for the Maxwell because she just fits the system very perfectly, and it would be poetic justice for them to go and take her after a certain giant polar bear decides to leave the team. It would be beautiful. I would expect lawsuits at that point because of how Trent's image was hurt.
Okay, Jack, this is probably one of the rare times I'm actually agreeing with you. It is poetic justice if that happens.
Again, not rare. It should be happening all the time, every day. But I digress. Who do they have? They have Sam Wallace. They have the GOAT, who's looking less like the greatest of all time and more like a GOAT. They need someone. They need anyone, but they really could use Misha Maxwell. But D-Kim's still out there. Why is he still out there? There's maybe they trade down and they get value for this player because the fact that D-Kim is still there and there are teams that could use him, he is a ball general. He's not going to lead your team, but he will make plays. Period.
I'm just
go for it.
baffled by the whole situation. I think everyone is looking at Kim saying, oh well, I've only got the eighth pick, ninth pick, 10th pick. He's going to be snatched up immediately, and I think this is a situation of the prettiest girl at the bar not being picked because everyone is too afraid to go say hi to her. I think really this is just kind of one of those weird anomalies that occurs because everyone thinks that they're not worth it.
See, for me, I'm gonna have to pull one and say that Morgan McCarthy's gonna be here at the spot. Mainly because of the fact that, the Big Moose, he is really, really old. I'm surprised he's still starting at this position.
Alan Chestnut?
Yes.
Yeah, he's getting old.
He's getting way up there. And I feel like this is, for the time that they have with Alan Chestnut, I'm going to have to say that they need to look for the future and actually go for Morgan McCarthy here. I feel like this is a perfect spot for him. I feel like that he could definitely be that defensive presence that they really need. Maybe he can help get a load off of Allen as well. So I feel like that Morgan is the perfect pick here, for me at least.
I think they need a shooting guard. As much as I love Lance and think he's wonderfully underrated, I think they need a shooting guard because the rumor is Ivor Drake will not be with that team on the start of the season. But you're right. I mean, this is an aging team that didn't have as much, like they haven't come to fruition as many people explained them. I think Run MC would be good.
Yeah, we're being told that they just they got the pick in.
There we go.
With the 8th pick of the 2015 FBA Draft, the Santa Fe Whips select Morgan McCarthy, a Bighorn Sheep center out of Phoenix University. Congratulations, Morgan. The Baltimore Spirits are now on the clock.
Wow. Okay, good pick. Very good pick. Right where we expect them to be. I definitely clap-worthy. Great pick. You gotta feel, I think at this point, they're taking Derek Kim out of the floor because he's fallen so much, and they don't want to see that emotion that's been known to happen in the past. Oh man, this is a great pick for the Whips, I think, because of the reasons you said. Allen is getting old, and
it's definitely a future. They're looking to the future,
and with the fact that he has that championship mentality already from winning the FCAA championship, earlier in the year in March.
In a very close game, I might add.
Oh, definitely, and with knowing with that. Bringing that into Santa Fe, which honestly I think desperately needs it at this point, being very mediocre in these past few years. This is a good pick. This is a very, very solid pick, and I'm glad for that.
I think Santa Fe is really looking to just change their whole image. I think they have been struggling for the last couple of seasons, and they really just need to kind of start over. I think that's one of the reasons why they picked up Wildfire. They saw that he was, a good asset for the Alphas and would be able to change up things a little bit for the Whips. I think this pick kind of goes with that idea of, old guard, new guard. They're really kind of phasing out some of the older Whips players, some of their franchise players, and really looking for kind of a new start for the franchise.
Yeah, I have to agree with you on that right there. So when it comes down to it, I feel like that with Morgan McCarthy, he has the potential of becoming the face of the Whips, in my opinion.
Is that possibility.
He can possibly be that guy that can really lead this team into into that championship gold once again, because it has been a while since they last went into the finals. I believe.
Yeah,
it's check up on me on that. So when it comes down to it, I feel like that this is definitely the pick that they needed for the future, and possibly a good major piece that can be used here for Santa Fe.
So let's talk about Baltimore.
Oh yes,
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 Baltimore.
They've done quite a little bit of a change up this offseason as well. When it comes down to it, because they basically just they use their amnesty like right on the dot on Moby. I am not gonna say his name. Don't ever try to think I'm gonna do that. You can forget it. But with him using his amnesty and then cutting trading a whole bunch of players away and also cutting quite a bit of players, they're looking for a major change up when it comes to Baltimore.
And
So
we may have to touch on this because this has happened over during the off season, but with a certain player on the free agency list and rumor of what may have transpired during this past off season.
What happened?
We're talking, Mr. Rockwell.
Oh yeah, he's suspended.
yeah.
So who knows if they may even pick up his contract next
Mr. Barry, you know the whole story. You covered this.
Yeah, I have. When it comes to Theodore Rockwell, apparently he had a little bit of a situation with a Las Vegas UFFL player, and our so lovable.
I don't think we have to mince words with who it was. I mean,
Who it
let's
was?
face it.
Okay.
Everyone would probably guess.
Pretty.
Kobe Carson, the fastest fox alive. I'll sing the whole song, but you'll hear it before
Please
the end of the
don't
night.
right now.
Oh, jeez. But yes, apparently, Theodore and Kobe Carson got into a little bit of a hustle, and apparently for Theodore's girlfriend, I think that's what the case is. And Theodore actually placed hands on Kobe Carson, and now he is suspended for the FBA opener for the Spirits. Well, not for whatever team he's going to be on, because he's in free agency. So, with that said,
I'm not going to argue with the league's decision on that because let's face it, you were warned not to get into any altercation with this Fox, and he did. So the league's perfectly within their right.
yeah, but when it comes down to it, but I don't know whether or not if with that in mind. I mean, of course, it is one game, and with the whole situation right now going on for the FBA, strike and all, we're not really sure how it's gonna play out. But again, we're gonna have to see.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to see.
So, but with that in mind, if Theodore doesn't come back to Baltimore, I can see them going for a small forward in this case, or someone that could potentially play in that position, like some kind of swingfer.
Yeah, definitely a few. And let's face it. This class has been rather guard heavy. To say the least.
Guard heavy? We have one power forward that's in the top 24. One true power forward.
This is true.
Yep, definitely.
We're getting word that they made the pick. So
Go.
let's go down to the floor.
All right.
With the 9th pick of the 2015 FBA Draft, the Baltimore Spirits select Samantha Knutson, an Orca center forward out of Joseph Smith University. Congratulations, Samantha. The Alaska Arctics are now on the clock.
Not a bad pickup.
Yeah, not a bad pickup at all.
Not going to argue that one either.
Yeah, when it comes down to it, they don't. But even though they do need a forward, they also lack center as well. Because right now on the roster, currently, right now they have Aaron Wilcox, and I think it's the only center on their team right now that is under contract. So yeah, center's a huge need.
Yeah,
right now
so they definitely are going to need depth. I don't think. As this may sound for Sam, Dowd will start. More than likely come off the bench, but that could actually be better for her in the long run. To spend a year or two on the bench, following up behind to learn to get better, to get the experience that's needed for a start.
Yeah, but when it comes down to it, but I did feel like one center was a little bit above in my eyes, and that was Ogun Akayu. I felt like that he would have been also a good pick.
Yeah,
Here, if they were
I'll
gonna go
admit,
for that.
I actually had him going.
So the story right now is, as much as I love Derek, as much as I love Sam, she plays much bigger than her current size. And Fish sometimes get a little taller. Big story is Derek still hasn't been drafted. Like, I've seen people put him as 1 overall. Like, where's the ganja pipe they're smoking? Where? Okay, I can't say that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was a bit much.
Well, when it comes down to it, I feel like the main reason why he hasn't been picked up yet is because of the position he's in. There aren't a lot of teams that need a point guard.
Okay, Chris, didn't you say he was the number 1 overall player in the official rank and your personal rank? And if he can hear me, Patrick Suarez, your wonderful rank had him very high, 1 overall.
Yeah, but, again, we're going to, some teams are going by need, not by the best player overall.
What?
And-
What?
Kind of best player, but it's best player for this position.
Yeah, for this position.
Yeah, but you have to consider when you've got someone rated number 1 who hasn't been picked this late in the draft. You just pick them up and build a team around them. Say, okay, I have this plan. This is a better plan. And I think if Alaska's smart, they'll go ahead and do that.
Yep. Yeah. Here we are with the team that I used to play for, the Alaska Arctics. God.
Can I handle this one, please? Waiting all night for this. So
do we have to?
Yes, you have to, because I'm
Alaska,
right.
please hurry.
Go.
Oh, boy.
Just go.
Is there some unresolved feelings you want to get off here?
No. You can go ahead.
Okay, so the Arctics have a big need, particular. Well, let's get to their strengths. They have great guards. They have Sierra. They have Matthews. They have Slade. The biggest thing they can do right now is not lose Tate to Hawaii, because they lose him and he goes to an in-division rival, which they don't need. Sign him. And you get better, and Hawaii doesn't. But their biggest weakness right now, Keena Kong's a free agent. We don't know if they're going to sign. And Bobby Baylor has repeatedly proven to be inconsistent. He's like look at that. He is not a great power forward. He is slow. He struggles. Marcus, why are you looking at me like that? He's slow. He struggles. He can't block. He can't. Marcus, what is wrong?
How many curses do I have?
You get 3.
You get
3.
Okay, I get 3. Okay. All right.
And it also says you get 1 punch alternatively, and just use it. They're pretty good at guard, though. Maybe you can go and warm up some of the existing guards.
For me, even personally, I feel like my brother Bobby Baylor, he is decent. I mean, sure, he is getting up there, of course, and it could be good for someone to go for that target. But I think when it comes to forwards, I feel like small forward might be more of a need, because Carl Esteban is not coming back. I really don't think so. I'm pretty sure he's gassed out. And when it comes down to Ambrose Slade, I'm not sure if he's going to be sticking around for that 3rd spot either. He's not really one of the best in that position, and he's better off at the 2. So for me, I would have to say they might be going in small forward, and the best player for me right now, I'm gonna go with the Rat.
Not to interrupt, guys, but I believe we're being told they just made their pick. So
Here we go.
Going back to the floor.
With the 10th pick of the 2015 FBA Draft, the Alaska Arctics select Ogun Okayu, a rhinoceros center forward out of Akandiana University. Congratulations, Ogun. The Winnipeg Voyagers are now on the clock.
Okay, so Mr. Bobby, don't call me Bobby Marcus. 1 second. I get this. I still think they should go after Travis with their $47 million in cap space. So this makes sense to me, but this says to me, hey, we
have no faith that we are going to get back Zach. We have nothing. Then this is what that pick is. We need to pick up someone in order to replace that. And this is a no confidence pick for me. Bye-bye, Zach. Hope you're happy in Hawaii. Hopefully Hawaii doesn't overpay you now.
Yeah, when it comes down to it, I feel like this might be a worried for the free agency pick as well. When it comes down to it, because like I said, when it comes to Zach Tate, yes, like I'm pretty sure he loves playing for Alaska. I think that when it comes down from our locker room, we're always good with each other and all that. But in Hawaii, he does have one of his closest friends there, in the rat Alphonse Norwich. He also has another bud of his in Scoons.
Both free agents for Hawaii, by the way. Just to add that.
Just to add that too. But if all three of them decided to be like, hey, we can come on to playing for Hawaii and make some crazy noise, Hawaii is going to be pretty dang dangerous. When it comes
to who? To who?
I think that they can be pretty dangerous in the Pacific Rim Division right now, with those three coming in as starters. Well, of course, when it comes down to it, they do need to look at their bench and see what they can do over there in Hawaii. But for me, if things go well for Hawaii, they can be pretty dangerous when it comes to the upcoming year.
So Hawaii doesn't have a pick, so we can talk about them briefly here.
Yeah, we can talk about them briefly, but
they're interesting in that their biggest move is to re-sign Zach, and if they can do that, cool. But if they can get Zach, Scooney, Aurora's still young there, and they can keep JCK, that's going to be a good team. They do have some holes. The forward position is a clear hole for them. We know about that. Why are you looking at me again?
Nothing. Just continue.
Whatever.
Continue.
I think they could be very good. Scooney is going to be a beast if he can, stay healthy. And same with Tate if he doesn't knock himself out doing a double backflip or some crazy crap. I think this is probably the most competitive division, the Pacific Rim, with Alaska, with Hawaii, with San Jose, and the Spectrum. San Jose is going to get a lot better. Spectrums are aging, but they're still the defending champion. Arctics, they have that triple guard set, which is incredible. This is a competitive division. And Hawaii, they snuck into the playoffs last year. I think they'll be better, but I think they're just going to beat each other up. They're very physical.
Yeah, I don't see Hawaii sneaking into the playoffs this coming year. I actually see them getting there without much a surprise.
I mean, like I said, it depends on how things go. But now we can get on to Winnipeg.
Yay! Yes, yep. Winnipeg.
With that Canadian blood, eh? Anyway,
so only a little.
Yeah. When it comes to Winnipeg, what do you think they're going to go for with this pick?
Well, they're weird. They're a weird team, right? I mean, they have Dirk on strike.
I wouldn't call them weird. I'd call them eclectic.
I don't know what that word means. At this point, I'm too scared to ask.
Yeah. Anyways, continue, Jack.
I think they need to get rid of. I mean, I love Dirk Von Sucker, but he's not he's getting old, and he's not even getting old. He's just getting slow. Like he won an award, and then he's not really pushed himself. He won. He's not the same. I think,
guys. I think we're being told we get the pick coming in.
Well, we know what this is.
Oh, okay.
With the 11th pick of the 2015 FBA Draft, the Winnipeg Voyagers select Derek Kim, Kikachi, guard out of UFLA. Congratulations to Derek. Williamsburg Minutemen are now on the clock.
So we finally got the number one overall.
Finally, it's gone through.
He's finally off the board after 10 picks. He just barely made it to the top 10. He didn't make it to the top 10. Now he's number 11. But this is an interesting pick right here in Derek Kim, because is this like a little bit of a bye bye Zoe Wilds? in this case.
It's
Because
an interesting one.
with Derek coming in, you're gonna have to be a little worried of saying, okay, this guy is starter caliber. He is a starting guy. Does this mean a departure from Wilds, or are we going to move Wilds to the 2 if she can play it? Like, I don't know if she can play it, but
I'm not touching that.
but when it comes down to it, this is a very, very interesting situation here.
I think they value picked, and they're like, well, look, Yves is technically he's a natural point guard. Mike Timmis is a natural point guard. Zoe Wiles is a natural point guard, at least from what we know. And then they go and get Derek Kim, a natural point guard. So I like the pick. If you can get Derek Kim at 10, great. And then move some people around, great. That's wonderful. Maybe Yves can play a little forward. He's been known to play a lot in the past. But at 6'1", do you want Yves going up against the nearly 6'10" Dylan Redfield forward to forward, which is what he's been doing a lot? I mean, are you gonna put Zoe at the guard or at the forward, 6'6" of her? Like this is a height problem at this point for the Voyagers, which is an interesting one. They have talent. They can play a maybe 3-4 guard set, same as Alaska's been doing, and it makes sense, but they have a lot of great players at that point guard position. Zoe, Timmis, Yves. For them to get another one, I mean, if they want to get DChem and say, hey, best player on the board, almost one, we're taking them, period. But these are the players we need. This doesn't make sense to me. Great value pick, but it doesn't make sense for how he fits into the team.
Yeah, I agree with you right there.
Argue that point.
Yeah, when it comes down to it, it's just like you have so many players. You have possibly one of the best guard depth in the entire league.
We just heard that Williamsburg's made their pick.
We didn't even analyze Williamsburg's. All right.
Oh, well, okay.
With the 12th pick of the 2015 FBA Draft, the Williamsburg Minutemen select Misha Maxwell, a cheetah guard out of Harvard-Warwick University. Congrats to Misha. The Biloxi Voodoo are now on the clock.
Is there an Underwood rule for females?
I'll be honest, I actually kind of saw this one coming, especially with the relationship that Misha's kind of built with, the girls on the team.
Yeah, I agree with this one. Like, I agree with you on that. The fact that, with the fact of how the GM of Williamsburg knows how to, scout their players. They do love their women. No argument women. There. But from a basketball perspective, do you feel like that this could be a little bit of a conflict? Because Misha Maxwell is best known for the shooting guard position, but we also have, Crystal Haley at that position as well. So with that, do you think that'll commit some kind of conflict?
Oh, this is a weird pick.
And as far as I see it, probably it would end up as a case of one-upsmanship. The two girls just trying to one-up each other, just try to prove, it's like, I'm not going to fall behind you.
Yeah. Like I said, this is another odd one for me. I mean, of course, I feel like that, the female aspect, that's probably how a little bit into why they picked.
Yeah, that'd be probably true.
But, at the same time, this still is a weird pick to me because of the fact that, of course, she is a fantastic player, but at the same time, you have Crystal Davis there.
More than Crystal Davis, you got Vera Tierra.
That's another one.
You have Michaela Maru, who isn't getting the time, but she's an incredible guard right there. You have Crystal, obviously, as we've mentioned a little bit there. And, I don't get this pick. Like you have players like Desmond Mason, who, okay, good forward, not an incredible forward right there, but he's going to have to go up against, I guess Leonard Macchia, but the Theo Rockwell. This is a weird division. This is our NFC South division. This is a team this is a weird division where anyone can come in there and do good, but they're going to be incredible. Are they going to play a 4-guard set with Leonard Mack as the pimp daddy? I can say that, right?
Oh.
Well, it makes me wonder if Williamsburg is looking to make some late trades. If they're picking up Misha Maxwell, they've got to be, they've got to have something else up their sleeve at this point. It seems like she'd be a really good fit, except for the fact that she is just like every one of their other players. So, perhaps they have something coming up in the future that they're going to shock everyone with.
All right, so because we typically are running out of time, let's talk about the Voodoo and their number 13 pick. Lucky 13 for the Voodoo.
Yep.
Who knows? Actually, might be a good luck this year.
Biloxi is a little bit of a I guess, a kind of sort of interesting one. Hold on a second, let me go check their roster really quickly.
So the Voodoo, you're right, they're an interesting one. Their best player, Albert John Middleworth, underrated player.
Mm-hmm.
But they need a center. Like, look at their lineup, front, back. They need a center bad. There's nothing big on that team right now. I think they go with the Pink Dragon, Brian Delgado Montgomery. Don't make me say that again. We're just call him BDM.
Fab Drag.
Just call him Brian.
I'll call him the Fab Drag.
I'm not going to call him the Fab Dragon because I'm going to say something in the list and I'm going to offend some people.
Yeah, I think that the Fab Drag could be a good piece here because, as you said, they do need a center. Even if they do get Smoot back, Rosalie Smoot, even when they get her back, they still need some kind of depth there at that position. So for me, I do think that when it comes down to it, they might need a big to fill up the backup role, and maybe Brian can do that.
Do you think they want Brian?
It depends, really. I mean, if they can handle a little bit of his attitude, he kind of has that snarky attitude.
Yeah, let's not forget, he did fall in the wake of a certain bear.
Yeah, of course. When it comes down to that, I mean, when it comes to hard ball in general, they do sometimes they have, players coming out of there that are somewhat have that snarky side to them. But
and then you've got Misha, and then you've also got Ricardo Ortega, who is, Ricardo is completely laid back and completely a Southern Californian kid.
Yeah, definitely. But when it comes down to it, I do feel like that they can take that risk with Brian. I don't see him as another St. Croix. I don't see that at all.
I don't think that's honestly possible. But yeah, I think they're telling us it's coming in. They got the pick.